The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Damn! All right, everybody, welcome back. It is Monday night. Yes, it is. And tonight, so far, we're going a little light. We have two with us so far. I'm pretty sure Joe will be here. I don't know about Krellbar. He said he was out with friends, which was very suspect on the from the jump for me to hear that. I'm like, friends? Wait, is this Krellbar? No, I'm kidding. But he said he might try to get here as soon as he can. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you. And Zim is dancing around. I think he can hear me, though. For some reason, I think he always has that. I don't think he wears headphones, so I think he hears me.
Yeah. No,
welcome, Zim. Just wave your hand somewhere near the camera. Ricky Compton and Hannah Baum, welcome. And
hey,
no,
Ricky.
I see him. He's just not in frame, but I see him on the bottom there.
Okay.
He's doing something with someone. Now he's back. Now he's gone. Welcome back, Cotter. Nice one, Hannah Baum. Hey now. All righty. Sandman, welcome. Jan, as always. Anyways, gents, well, Matt, basically, since you're the one that does carnivore with me, how's the diet going?
Oh, pretty good. About the same, really. I mean,
yeah.
not a lot has changed. You know, just
man, I'm starting to notice I'm my weight has come up like to 180, but I'm lean. But I've gotten lean, and it's crazy. And then yesterday, My mom and my sister wanted to go out to eat for lunch, and I'm like, well, I don't eat till 5. I'm like, all right. So I went early. I figured I'd go and I'd grab a bite. So I had some I had a piece of tuna at Legal Seafood, and I had a side of bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got home. I smoked a cigar. So I was finished. I was home by 2, had a cigar, and then I was like, I'm getting hungry. I'll eat again at 4. So then I ate. I made a steak and some eggs, and was stuffed. I was stuffed. Then a buddy of mine calls me and says, hey, we're having a little get together at my friend's house in Bridgewater. Why don't you come over? So I did, forgetting in my mind that the kid who's inviting me over is Greek, and it's Greek Easter, and they're making lamb on this huge outdoor grill. I forgot to mute my phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, that was Jim. And so I had lamb again, and that was good. And then today I ate my normal time, 4:30. But yeah, no, I feel great. I feel effing great. Cardio today, did light chest. Today's my light week. This week is light week in the gym. And then we had the Boston Marathon here. Apparently Smelly ran in it. Do you know Smelly, Mark Bell?
Yeah.
Chris Bell.
I met him a few times, yeah.
Yeah, I saw on Instagram. I was surprised. And I think that's really cool that he's running marathons now. And yeah, it's very good. How's everyone else? If anyone else in the chat is doing the carnivore or some type of extreme keto, how's the weight loss going, everybody? The Benson, it's actually the Benson Echo Rec. Yeah, it's something I would never buy. Never. It's an abominable beast. And in the digital world, I have an alter ego, a TC Electronic, and I use the Benson Echo Rec, and to me, that's all I need. Sounds like it. I don't need a fucking huge Echo system from 1969 or 70, whenever the hell that thing came out. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, no. You know what's great? Hey, Hugh Caldwell, yeah. Barbecue chicken and steak. Yeah, you know what? I don't eat a lot of chicken. It just doesn't have any fat for me, so I don't enjoy it. The NAMM show was this weekend, and we'll get this out of the way. I'm not a fan of NAMM. It's fun if you go once in a while, but when you are forced to go every year because of your job or because you're in the business somehow, it sucks. And when you get sick a couple of years in a row, you get the Chinese bird flu from Hall E. That's the worst. Okay, he's got his phone. He's got his muted. Yeah, Hall E is like there's a lot of Asian manufacturers down there. Yeah, Wagyu's good. I like Wagyu.
Is that the one downstairs?
Yeah, you got it, Speed. Yeah, it's the room downstairs. It's the one you take they have the 2 escalators.
Right, and you go down. Yeah. That's always the El Cheapo section down there.
Yeah. Well, what's great is on Sunday, when NAMM is in January. So NAMM this year was in April because they pushed it back. This is all COVID related. Next year it's going to be back in January. But in February, it's the biggest trade show. And it's the one in Frankfurt, Germany, the Music Messe, whatever they call it. So all these Chinese companies bring all these guitars to show what they're going to sell. They don't want to ship it back, but they need to get merchandise at the other shows, so they sell it all. And so you can go down in Hall E and pretty much get a pretty good deal on some cool, well-made Chinese stuff they're selling. So, anyways, I wish we had somebody on this show that went to NAMM this year.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, I went to NAMM. That's right.
You must. Back yesterday. Serendipitous.
Yeah.
Wow. How was it?
It was a lot of fun, and I went the year before too.
Yeah.
And
let me ask you this question: did you eat a slice of pizza over a trash barrel?
No.
No. You haven't lived the full minute experience.
We had Burger King breakfast sandwich before we went over there.
Oh, but, and I hope you brought your own Charmin.
I had a really long weekend because me and my son, we drove to, and I told you guys this last week, But Friday night, my band played at the Whiskey A Go Go. We opened
Right.
for Faster Pussycat, sold out show. We were the 10:30 time slot. It was an epic, fun time.
Oh yeah, it's
And then
when there's a big band that draws there, it's a blast because it is a zoo and people get to enjoy your band. I mean, you play what 30 minutes? You had a 30-minute set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a great time at the Whiskey. Got up the next morning and stayed at the Ramada, which is $225 a night. So that's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
But then drove
Not
down
for
to
LA.
Anaheim, and it's an easy enough drive. It maybe is 45 minutes or so.
From where?
From like Culver City.
Oh yeah,
Which is, 5
you
miles,
go down
5 minutes
5 to the
south.
105, 605, 4 to the 5. Yes.
And but it was a lot better this year than it was last year. And again, everybody's complaining that PRS, Gibson, and Fender wasn't there. But I don't really care about those brands, except,
Wait,
Gibson
who wasn't
has all the
there?
Kramer stuff.
Who wasn't there?
Gibson,
PRS was
Fender.
not there.
Gibson
Fender was not there.
If Fender wasn't there, then like Jackson wasn't there, Charvel wasn't there.
Right. You didn't have any of the EVH stuff or the
But they're all
Jackson
in
or
one
the
booth.
Gretsch.
If you guys know the NAMM show in Anaheim, the NAMM show in Anaheim, Gibson and Fender are always up on that second floor outside of the actual show. You're actually going outside and then you have to go upstairs to the escalator, show your badge to get up in there second. And they're up there with Taylor guitars, is across like from Gibson usually, and Fenders are all the way around the back. So it's completely out of your way from the show. And for them not being there, to me, it's like you're not missing them. I hope they realize that they don't get missed because people that walk the show want the action's on the floor. You know what I mean?
That's
when you go
true.
into and when you go into Fender, there's always like they show all these custom shops. There's 5,000 sold stickers all over everything because what they do is on Wednesday night, they have a private thing before the show officially opens that stores go in and look and pick and buy the custom shop. So then you really can't even touch anything. So I never cared. And Fender has the Gretsch up there and they have, the amps and their acoustics. And they used to have, I remember when they had Guild at one point, but either way.
I didn't see any of that where they had all the business cards piled in there where all these mom and pop shops
Fender wasn't
from all
there.
around the world wanted to order this guitar. They don't do it like that anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, Fender wasn't there. That's how Fender does it.
I don't even think they do it. And now Fender being factory direct, they don't really need to go to the NAMM show.
Yeah. I mean,
so
look,
it's both for some of those big brands like that, PRS and Gibson, it's just them sort of bragging about, look at all our stuff. It's flexing.
Right, but see, Fender would be better off if they got a small booth upstairs and put 1 or 2 instruments, special instruments, and said, look, we're Fender. You guys know what we do, but we're here. At least they'd be in the mix. Because on the floor, that's where all the excitement is, inside the room. You walk through the drum parts, and it's that part I can understand that people enjoy. Although to me, in the hearing, it reminds me of walking around Guitar Center, but on 10. Everyone's just fucking blazing. But there are like the most interesting stuff in the shows on the main floor. I would call it, I think it's Hall D and C. I forget what they call the drum side. That might be D. But either way, Hall E also was a very cool, even though you're downstairs, that's where Breedlove was for years. And there was some cool, smaller, boutique-y guys downstairs. But for the most part, the main floor is where you want to be. I mean, I remember when I went to Gibson's, Taylor's booth one time, and I was like, I walked in, I looked around, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. Comes across like it's a pretentious thing, and we're separate from everybody. Meanwhile, you go downstairs and fucking Santa Cruz guitars is down there, and Santa Cruz makes way better guitars than Taylor. I mean, those things are fucking gorgeous, And so, to me, it's just like I can go talk to the guy over at Santa Cruz, pick up a pre-war OM, and play it and make my heart happy, and then go to the Taylor booth and just be like, wow, this is a big booth with a stage and a private room upstairs that I had to go out of my way. Yeah, Martin booth, it used to be big. They used to have like a long, but on the main floor. They were always on the main floor, Martin. And they always had a nice thing. Martin, you know, this is again why I don't really care for the NAMM show. The NAMM show is there for stores to write business. And when you go to the Martin booth, that's all they're doing. There's tables, there's guys in stores. So I used to have to go around and I set meetings with everybody. And I remember going into Martin. Martin, it's like we shake hands, I talk to some people, and then they want to run me around and show me all the new stuff for NAMM. And I could give a shit. What do I care? Just tell me what. Show me in the catalog. I'll tell you what we'll buy. What am I going to sit there and I need to play these? They're fucking Martins. I know what they play like. Oh, this is our new D41 that has a special inlay. Well, fuck me naked. What the hell do I like? I can't figure out it's got a different inlay, but it's a D41. I get it. You know what I mean? It's like unbelievable.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's really where, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the show. So, but there are some things that you do stumble onto at NAMM that eventually become a big thing. Because I remember one year I went to NAMM and I went with Lee Carreri. And Lee and I were walking and he wanted me to find this. It was something with electronic stuff. And so we had to go through the keyboard section. And there was a guy who had a small booth and it was called Tronicals. And I said, I'll be over here for a few minutes. I want to see what's going on, why there's a guitar product over here. Anyways, Tronicals is the maker of the robot tuners that Gibson eventually had. They just bought it and branded it. They just used them and branded their own logo on them. But basically, this company was a German company, and they were out for like 2 or 3 years before the robots came out. They actually made them for Strats, and they still exist. You can go on Tronical's website and order robot tuners for your Strat. They or any Gibson you want if you wanted it. It's a cool idea if you're playing like a Telly and you want to do like 3 different tunings and you don't need anybody on stage. But for the most part, I find it unnecessary. But it was cool because that was there before anybody. Yeah, no, the original ones weren't bad. It was just when you see them on the Gibsons and they just didn't make much sense. Like I said, they worked better on the Telly when I saw the guy demo it the very first time. And it's cool, like I said, because if you're going to use like 2 or 3 tunings, you could easily get it, especially if you pin your, well, on a Telly, you don't have to pin your bridge, but, you know, you could sit there and do like open D, open G, standard E, DAD-GAD, in the press of a button. I think when Gibson got it, it looked more complicated. I don't know why, but anyways, that's, Gibson has a way of doing that, so. But another NAMM has come and gone. And yeah, people love it on YouTube. I'm just thankful this year because nothing came up in my feed about NAMM. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because I can't stand when people are like, oh my God, I'm at NAMM and let me show you the great new things. And it's like, there's nothing new. No one cares. I don't know. Yeah, I deck mine too.
I saw some things pop up, you know, people mainly from Ibanez, you know, oh, this is our new Steve Vai, this is our new Paul Stanley. And it's like, it's the same thing you've always had. It's just,
right. Right.
There's nothing new there. You're just, you know,
yeah, we use a different paint.
Yeah, exactly.
I always thought the best Vai was the 10th anniversary. The silver one, it was like silver and gray gem. I always thought that was the coolest looking one.
I don't remember.
It was more stripped down. It was like less the hot pink, the yellows. It was more just
Oh, this one was some swirly, you know, job like he had on the Passion and Warfare album.
Right. And he also has like the Pia now, right?
That's what this was, yeah. It's
yeah.
Just, you know,
like that's
which they didn't really change anything. They just put like different shaped holes in it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what's a guitar? I mean, that's the fucking thing. It's like, it's the neck and it's what's the body's connected to. Cares. Like, that's why, like, I'm so over guitars. It's like, you just pick them up and play it. Whatever you like. If you have it and you like it, play it. But like, you know, I was talking to a guy the other night. He came out to my show, and he was talking to me about, I want to get one of these soon, and I'm going to get one of these. I'm like, why? What do you want it for? It's like, you know, I had one when I was younger. I'm like, he got rid of it. Get rid of it again. Who cares? I don't know. To me, I always find it. I mean, unless you're a working player. No, Hugh, he was out with friends. I know. It's hard to believe. He said he might be in at the end of the night, but I don't know. He said he was with friends, which I detect a lie. So anyways, yeah, I mean, you know, if you're a working guy and you want to go out there and you're like, oh, I got this gig and they want me to play in a 175, or the gig, you know, the look of the band looks like I need to play. Well, then I get it, because it is a fashion accessory as well. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to see, what's the guy's name that plays those Gretsch hot rods? Brian Setzer. You're not going to see him playing a Strat. You know, although would it matter? Probably not. If he had to go on stage with a Strat, I'm sure he probably could give a shit. I mean, they'd be like, this is fine. But it's not the look with the fucking, the duck, whatever look he's got going on in that hairdo, and bringing back the whole 1950s feel. It's a fashion accessory. So, I mean, that's really, hey, Rock Daddy. That's really what, I don't know where Dane went. He's, I think those Burger King breakfast sandwiches are catching up with him.
Didn't he? Well, he's still open, right?
Yeah, no, he's got somebody in the shop. But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of it. Like, so I never really cared. Now, like, you know, like I said last week, I went to Amplified Nation and checked out those amps, and they're beautiful amps. And do I think you should own one? If you can afford to drop the money and it's something you want, then I think you should get one. They're fucking great amps. But there's lots of great amps, and just figure out what it is that you need. But do you need 500 amps like I have? No. These are fashion accessories. He's not doing a fucking thing. And NAMM was better back in the day. Went to every year, 2011, Ted Nugent and PRS booth. Yeah, God, you guys like talking about the PRS booths, huh? I'm not a big PRS fan, and I find, you know, I have nothing against Paul, but he bores me when people talk about the tone wood and all that shit. I just want to fucking Rochambeau him. I'm just like, all right, get me away from this guy. You know, it's yeah, just it's not. I just don't care for that. They don't sing to me, anyways. Have you played those, Matt?
It's very few and far between.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, they're as impressive as when you see Carlos Santana playing those old double cut Yamahas. It's like, yeah, can I get this thing off me? Yeah, I just not a huge fan.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's but if you've never been to NAMM, it is a fun time for you to go. It is. So the fun that I have at the show is obviously, because me and you hung out at NAMM one year.
Yeah, we went together.
Is the fun of hanging out with friends that you know in music circles. You know, that's the fun of the show. You know, I see a lot of guys. I was just thinking about Gary Harrison. I should get Gary on the show. Gary is one of the reps for Dean Guitars. And God, I just remember him. I took him to a Rolling Stones concert once, but I also took him at Dodger Stadium. But I also took him to the Dodgers game, and he brings like a handheld AM radio with him, and this thing is blasting, and people keep looking at us, and we're like sitting in seats like behind Tommy Lasorda, like we're like up front, second row. Because I used to teach a girl whose father was a scout for the Dodgers. So I'm like getting embarrassed. I'm like, listen, Gary, you gotta fucking lower that. You're gonna get us kicked out of here. These people keep looking. Gary's oblivious. He goes, you think they mind? So as he starts to turn it down, everybody around us turns and looks at us and goes, turn it back up. They were looking at us because they wanted to hear it. I had no idea. I'm like, I must be clueless. He was listening to the game, but they liked hearing the announcer.
Uh-huh.
I guess so. I mean, no, I did not see that Hannah Baum about Gene Simmons. Yeah, like I said, I mean, if you're there at NAMM, it's an enjoyable time, especially if you run into friends, because it's more of a friend hangout. And like I know a lot of the guys that still work for the companies, and so that's always good to see as well. I mean, that's a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's not my favorite thing. I mean, to me, it's like the problem now I hate about it all is the music is fucking dead. And so it's like, oh, you see this guy plays. It's like, who cares? Who the fuck wants to hear music anymore? It's like, it's fucking awful. When people are on YouTube making a big deal about Extreme, did you hear the new Extreme song? Yeah, it sucks like everything else they've done. Oh, because now there's absolutely nothing out there to compare it with. Now you guys think it's great. When you think Extreme is great and they put out a great song, that's the fucking telltale sign that the fucking industry is dead. Because they're rotten. And I'm sorry, guys from Extreme. Look, I know you're local boys, but your songs stink. You stink. There's nothing there. The songs are horrible. That song was garbage. And look, I mean, and what's that? Pornography? Was that the second album? Pornograffiti, whatever the hell it was called?
Yeah.
Terrible. I mean, there's a couple of cool songs on there, but listening to Gary Sharon sing is a punch in the gut. And Nuno's a great guitar player, but over shitty songs, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care about a great guitar player. I tell people all the time, Alan Holdsworth's the greatest guitar player you're ever going to hear, but you probably won't be able to stomach one song. I like jazz, but I know a lot of guys don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a song the other day. Andy Timmons is a great player.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fucking great.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize he played in that band in the late 80s there. The Danger.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's great.
Yeah, no, he's very well respected.
And I probably would have known that a long time ago had they had good songs.
Yeah.
Thank you. But no, I'm just saying, look, it's like when Extreme came out with that song that's recent, every fucking guitar channel was like, oh, look at Extreme's got a new song. Let's talk about it. It sucks. I understand you're so fucking hungry for good music that a Burger King breakfast sandwich sounds like a good idea. But 10 minutes after you read it, after you eat the fucking thing, you're going to be plowing your cabinets to make sure you have a full case of Charmin. You're going to be like, God, at the time when I ingested this, I thought it was so good. And now I'm bleeding out of my ass. That's what listening to Extreme is like. Yeah. People are like, oh my God, it's so good. No, it's not.
I haven't heard it.
It's generic. But it's like, I don't know. To me, it sounds like another song already. There's an old Stone Temple Pilots song it kind of sounds like. So to me, it's like Ricky Compton, forget your man wipes. Just get in the fucking shower and clean that ass.
What song are you talking about?
That Extreme song that came out. That new one last.
Rise.
Rise, thank you.
With the good guitar solo.
Well, everyone's like, it's a good guitar solo. It's the only guitar solo. It's not that good. It's not that good. And there's a ton. He does the same thing he does back in the 80s where he uses the delay and goes. And then the delay
Nuno also is in Demi Lovato's band.
No, he's in not Demi Lovato. He's in the girl that Rihanna's band.
Yeah, I saw him on the halftime show.
Yeah, he's the guitar player for Rihanna.
Okay.
Demi Lovato was Nita Strauss.
That's why it has so much pop influence in it. It sounds like a Disney song.
No, it doesn't. Rise sounds like an old Stone Temple Pilots song with a worse melody.
Well, I'm just saying the chorus, it could be a Disney song. The chorus, the songwriting
It's as much as a
style.
Disney song as Get the Funk Out. It's not. It's just not. Like I said, I don't think it's very good. I heard it a couple of times because every channel is like, listen to this song. And I'm like, fuck you guys. It's just music is dead. That's all. There is no, and can we come back? Can we come back? Will music make a comeback?
Well, I guess we have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to have to be something, I don't know. Because, like, I mean, you look at these guys, Leonid and Friends. You guys familiar with this site of musicians?
Yeah, the Russian guys that play Chicago. I love listening to them.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
The problem is they're playing songs from the 70s that we grew up loving, and they're doing a fucking amazing job, and they'd be a fun as shit band to go see live. But that's not new music. That's us playing the music of Peter Cetera, Robert Lamb, and Terry Kath. They were wondering if you were releasing that Burger King breakfast sandwich from Friday.
No. You know what we did then after? Okay. Then after going to the NAMM show, and then I visited this dude named Jerry that has Orange County guitars on Saturday. Okay. Me and my son went to the Golden Corral.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Even worse.
I decided I need some food. I need a steak. I need some potatoes. I need everything I can get my hands on. I had like 4 plates of food at the Golden Corral out somewhere in California.
Ooh.
Let me tell you something. Doesn't Kimberly Clark have a lot of investments in Golden Corral?
Probably.
Thank you, Matt, for getting the reference. For those who don't, Kimberly Clark, I believe, is the maker of Northern Bath Tissue. They make a ton of toiletries.
I had a plate full of some fish, and then I had the steak, medium rare, and then I had a little thing of mashed potatoes and gravy. I topped it off with some ice cream at the end there. Got me through it. And then I slept for a long time and got up. And on Sunday, we played at the Rainbow Bar and Grill.
Oh, excellent!
Oh, wow!
Yeah, so I squeezed two shows into this.
Now, did you eat at the Rainbow?
No, too busy for all that.
Let me tell you, the Rainbow has the best pizza and steak in the city.
I know people tell you that.
Fantastic.
I've had it before, but this last time I was up there. No, I didn't get any of that.
If you watch, I've seen it and I know it's around. There's a whole documentary on the Rainbow, and because they're owned, the whiskey and the Rainbow are owned by the same people.
Same owner.
Yeah.
But they go through the whole history of the place because it used to be something else and I can't remember what it was called before.
It's that Italian guy, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Italian guy owned it. But you know what? Before it
was always at the Rainbow.
It's like 53 years ago. It was Joe DiMaggio took Marilyn Monroe to the Rainbow Room before it was called the Rainbow on their very first date, and he ended up marrying her.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they have a picture inside there that what it looked like back then, and I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, this documentary is really pretty cool, and it has a lot of.
Yeah, everybody hung out there. I mean, Led Zeppelin hung out there, Thin Lizzy hung out there, and of course, then when the '80s rolled around, it was Rat and Motley and Dave. It's all those guys.
Oh yeah, Matt, you remember Spiewak?
Boys.
Oh, of course.
Spiewak, when he was a young kid, in I think it was in 1970, he went into the Rainbow one night. I mean, the whiskey one night, and Yes was playing, and there was like 5 people there.
Oh yeah, shit.
And he was like, who the hell are these guys? They're unfucking believable. Why is nobody here?
Mm-hmm.
Says,
yeah.
Wow. Says it was unbelievable.
He must have really been young.
I think he was 20.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he was born in 50. So he was.
I saw one of those documentaries just recently. Now, Hollywood and West Hollywood and that whole area there in the late 40s and the 50s, it was all about Sammy Davis Jr. And it was
Right, right.
before, they had all these nightclubs, but they had those swinger
Dinos.
kind of guys. Dean
Right,
Martin, all
right. You
those
know,
kind of
and
guys played those casinos. But then when Las Vegas opened up, and then the early 60s, it turned into all the kids just started hanging around in those bars. So the Whiskey
yeah.
A Go-Go was full of 18-year-old kids.
Well, it's
And then
funny
the
if you watch
Doors sort of
Columbo.
came up through that.
When you watch Columbo in the early 70s, he's always going into Barney's Beanery.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, the one in WeHo,
Uh-huh.
West Hollywood, for those.
There's I don't know, Quentin Tarantino or one of those guys had a booth in Barney's Beanery where he wrote some of those legendary movies and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He just sat there. David Lee Roth hung out there. One thing that
The
was
food
kind of
was for
funny
shit.
about,
I always thought Barney's food was garbage. It's basically like ground. It was worse than the ground round. You guys remember the ground round?
No.
Yeah,
No, but
Columbo
they
does
had
like
a
his chili.
plaque.
He gets the chili at the at Barney's.
they had a plaque inside Barney's and it said something like "No faggots allowed," and they left that up and they fought for that. I don't know if it's exactly, but it had something to do with gay guys. And they fought to keep that sign up. And after the years went by, more and more people are like, "Come on, man, you probably should take that down." And
Take it
they
down. The
finally
whole
gave
it's
in
right
about,
in the fucking. It's right on the edge of Boys Town.
Yeah.
yeah, I know it. It probably they probably finally gave in and they took it down about probably 10 or 15 years ago. But they were rocking that sign, "No fags allowed," for a long,
There was
long
a what's
time.
that? There was a Mexican restaurant up the street, a Tex-Mex place. Oh, God, I wish I could remember. It's right at King's, just up the street from Barney's. And I remember one time I was in there and I see these two guys holding hands, and then I look up the other side and these two guys are making out. So I look at the guy I'm slow dancing with, and I'm like, "Is this a gay bar?" Thank you. Thank you very much, folks. Yeah, no, that place. I forget what Marrick's Tex-Mex.
Oh, boy.
Merrick.
You can't walk in there with like literally the place is always packed wall to wall people. I was dating Erin Ann at the time, and we went there to go. She's like, "Oh, we got to go meet my cousin." Her cousin was gay. Well, he is gay. And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go meet him. We'll go meet him for lunch." So we go to this place, and it is just like dudes up everywhere. The place was great. I mean, there was like 5 guys for every guy. Thank you.
Wow,
Another one.
great odds.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. So, anyways, guys, I wanted to talk about something that's been in the news, and I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what's going on with Bud Light, but honestly, that company has to be the dumbest company in the planet. It goes to show you how people are just set into jobs and they don't have any skill. The job itself, it's like, seriously, that CEO, they bring in the girl that went to Harvard, and she's on some podcast saying, we wanted to be more inclusive. Well,
Right.
so you're gonna go pander to people who drink smart cocktails and sit there and drink champagne doodles, whatever the hell they call their drinks, that would never drink a Bud Light in their life, and spit on all the people who drink Bud Light.
Yeah, she was going on that 0.02% of the population that needed to become Bud Light drinkers.
Right. And but at the same time, pissing off the people that do drink their beer. And so now the CEO who comes out and with his apology was bullshit. It's like not an apology. It's like, I try to do, and when I was in the army and when I did this, fuck off. Dude, no one wants to hear you fucking pull on your suspenders and tell us what you did. Let me tell you what you did. You pissed and spat in the face of all your beer drinkers. So you apologize to them and tell the other people to fuck off. You don't have to worry about offending the lefty liberals. They don't drink your fucking beer.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that do don't give a fuck about what you did. They don't care. This whole thing about inclusivity and the whole woke culture is fucked up.
Yes.
I'm kind of sad about it because Budweiser and Bud Light, those are the brands that I drink when I go out. I'm not a big drinker, but I mean, even, 30 years ago, those were the brands that I drank. And so I like that watered down domestic beer. That's how I am. I don't think the hangover.
All right, so go to Miller Lite.
About beer. Here's the thing about beer. There's a different hangover for every beer. Guys are like, you're sitting there sipping on a Bud Light, and people are like, well, you should try Miller Lite because it tastes better. But then the buzz is
Less
different.
filling.
The hangover is different. Yeah, so I've always been a Bud Light drinker. So
I think you should try Miller Lite because it's less filling. Matt, this is what you
Tastes
yell at me
great.
and say it tastes good. Less filling.
Tastes great.
See, even their commercials hold up. That commercial's 40 fucking years old. We remember it.
Did you see Kid Rock? Kid Rock shooting all the beer can, took out a machine gun, shot them all.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I just think this whole fucking world is upside down. People are out of their minds. Look, I'm not saying that trans people have a mental illness. Oh no, wait. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You know, like I said, like with here's the thing: gay people. I don't believe gay is a choice. I believe you're born one way or another. Like if someone's born gay, and trust me, there are a lot of times I wish I were gay. Do I want to deal with women? No.
Well, the guy
you know what I mean? It's like, fuck, these guys, all they want to do is bang, hang out, and fucking go shopping. The gay thing is the way to go. Unfortunately, I'm not attracted to men. So therefore, I am cursed with being heterosexual. Now, the gay thing is fine. But when the gays start aligning with, well, we're going to align with guys who dress up as women. What? Well, why? And then they sit there and say, well, if you're a guy and you wouldn't date a trans girl, you're transphobic. I'm not transphobic. I'm fucking heterosexual. That guy, that's a dude in a dress. I'm not a fucking moron to sit there and believe because the person says they're a woman that they're a woman.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots.
Here's where I think the lady who is in charge of the advertising and everything, I think this is where she went wrong. She goes on TikTok and she sees these statistics about this dude that dresses up like a little 6-year-old girl. He is so popular on TikTok. He's at like 10 billion views or something. And that's not popularity because people like to watch him. That's popularity because everybody loves watching a train wreck or a real shit show. And that's what this guy is. You can't take your eyes off it, you know? And so she had her analytics twisted around where she thinks people are going to think this is good for her brand because it's so popular. But no, it's the exact opposite. People watch that stuff on TikTok because they're just like, well, look at this crazy shit going on.
The first thing in marketing is know who the fuck you're selling to. That's number one. Know who you're selling to. That's number one. And just to sit there and be like, oh, well, all these people, we want to give it a new image. You want to kill it. In fact, you probably killed the brand. They're down $6 billion. I would never drink a Bud Light. I don't drink it anyways.
Was fratty. She said it was fratty. So she thinks that all the commercials appeal to those dudes in college that are in fraternities and they're having cake parties. She's just an uninformed idiot.
She's an elitist, uninformed idiot. She's an imbecile.
Yeah.
Working Americans don't want to fucking see some boy in a dress saying he's a woman and I'm celebrating. And then for Bud Light to say we're celebrating women. No, you're not. You're pissing in their face. If you were celebrating women, you would actually have a woman there, not a guy in a dress.
There's that viewpoint where men control the world. Okay. Men control the world. And so there's this point of view now where even a man can dress up like a girl and still control the world. Okay.
No, but what's funny is they sit there. The left for years was like, we're feminists. We want to be treated, we want to equal this, equal that. And now they're like, and we want to make sure that these trans people get into fucking all of our fucking sports. So we lose every fucking female sport. The winner will be a man. It's just the way the world is. It's just how it is. We're not genetically the same. You can't just sit there and say, oh, I'm a woman. I'm a trans woman now, and I want you to call me her. No, you're actually a guy. You got a dick, and you have DNA in your body, and you're a man. And let me tell you, if you couldn't open your fucking mouth and you were found naked in a ditch and a coroner were to tell me what he found, he'd say, I found a dead guy.
Right.
You know, you can cut the fucking balls off of your fucking dog that you have in your house so he doesn't, you know, spay your animal. But then you don't sit there and say, well, my dog's a girl now. We cut his dick and balls off, you know, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. It's a dude.
It's got to be a little bit for real women in the world, real men of genius. No, real women in this world. It's got to be a little insulting that a boy can dress up like a woman and pretty much just take over everything and pretend to be a woman. Women need to stand up and say, hey, there's only one kind of women, and that's a real woman. And men, you just guys can't do it. I mean, let's be realistic here, okay? And then Nike wants to sell this kid sports bras now or something.
Oh, Jesus.
Nikki Sixx has been dressing like a woman for years. Nobody ever called him her.
Exactly.
Nicolette Sixx. Well, there was some, I can't remember
In
where
fact,
it was.
wasn't Dude Look Like a Lady written about Vince Neil?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Matt. What was that?
Oh, nothing. There was some like weightlifting thing where they were allowing these trans guys to get into women's powerlifting, and it just completely, you know, turned the whole thing upside down. It's like the first time they let one in, it's like, oh, he set 5 world records, or she set 5 world records.
Well, did you see there was a guy who was talking down about it, saying how it was bullshit, but he was a guy who had the record. He was a trans.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, well, that person's not a real trans. You're not a real chick. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? It's like, someone's like, is that a dude or is that a girl? Just go smell the bathroom when he gets out. You'll know in 2 seconds. Nobody lays pipe like that. That's a fucking dude. And that's a dude. That guy's not drinking Bud Light either. That guy's drinking some fucking IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Something in his gut is not right.
Jeez. Sick of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But anyways, like I said, I think that, you know, Bud Light's going to suffer greatly. I think they're a long road away from fixing the situation. And
are they continuing to run with this thing?
Oh no, they wrote a fake apology. It was this bullshit thing, and then they came out with this like super over the top patriotic, but with a little wokeness in it, but patriotic thing, and they show like a Hispanic woman with a guy rolling up a flag, and then they show the fire station's a black guy and a white guy. It's like, give me a fucking break. But it's all about the American spirit, and it's fuck you. That's what you want to know. What the American spirit is? You fucking spat in the face of the beer drinkers that liked your beer, and they're gonna show you what the American spirit is like when they tell you to shove your fucking piss up your ass.
Yeah,
that's what they're gonna do.
Do they think they're actually going to get all these people to come running back to them just because they?
I don't think you can put the genie in the bottle.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm not buying it.
No.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. You know, so again, Ricky, so I wouldn't get into the queer thing and all that because I don't really. Like I said, I have no problem if you want to get a gay guy up there. No one's a bigger fan of Paul Lynde or Charles Nelson Riley. You get any one of those sassy queens from the 70s to sit there and promote. In fact, Blatz beer back in the 60s used Liberace to promote beer. My friends call me Lee. My friends call me Lee.
The name. Who chose that name? Because Blatz. It sounds like what the sound the toilet makes when you.
Oh, because they were all. Isn't it like Polish or something? Because it was Wisconsin. There was a Wisconsin beer, Blatz beer. Blatz. At the 50s diner on Santa Monica Boulevard in West LA, they used to have a thing that said Liberace drinks Blatz beer, and I'm like, well, there's the selling point. I even bought a Blatz hat. I loved it. But it's different than when you sit there and say, well, here's a guy dressed as a woman, because I think now they're promoting stuff where they're trying to, you know, and I'm going to go off on a tangent here. They're trying to promote something to make it normal. That's not normal. These people there's an issue, a dysphoria going on. It's not normal, but the left wants to normalize it and make it normal. But I'll tell you, it's not just them. Everything is this way. When you look at TV and there's 5,000 commercials, Ozempic, all this shit, everyone's trying to make the poison that they feed you like it's not your fault. It is your fault. You're eating poison, folks. The processed foods they're selling you is poison. And then they're trying to give you medication. And everyone's like, don't fat shame. Why don't you want to fat shame? Because the food is what's causing the problem. And those companies don't want to lose the bottom line. If you start telling someone they're fat and they're like, well, I'm never going to eat cake again. Well, all of a sudden, fucking Duncan Hines and Kellogg's are like, shut the fuck up. We got to normalize this. And there's money involved. And it's all about fucking money. But all that shit is fucking poison. It's all poison. And if you go back and look in the 1800s, barely any cancer. Lung cancer was almost not even existent. And people were smoking pipes, homemade cigarettes with no filters and cigars. No lung cancer, no mouth cancer. That shit didn't exist. All of a sudden, we start feeding people poison. And amazingly, we're sick with everything. And then you'll sit there. I heard one today. I was cooking food, and I heard the commercial was something like the constraints on it at the end was like, it can cause you to get infection. It can cause this, can cause that. I'm like, you're a walking fucking time bomb because you're trying to fucking cure diabetes because you can't put the fucking loaf of bread down. And did you guys see that at Subway restaurants in Ireland, they're no longer allowed to call their bread bread? And wow. Subway went and sued and they lost. They were like, there's so much sugar, 10 times the amount of sugar in your bread that it has to be called cake or confection or whatever the hell it was.
Are you serious?
Brian, how much have you lost on carnivore? Perfect timing on my rant on food. I'm telling you, people are dying a lot these days. I watched a video today about the guy about the jab. And this guy, I should send it to you, Matt. It was really interesting. But it's basically, you know how they were finding those clots?
Mm-hmm. So
what the guy figured out, what they found out was this German doctor did a study, and it's actually formed after death. It's the spike proteins in the blood.
Mm-hmm.
But there's way too much of it.
Uh-huh.
And that's what the problem is. And so now they're going to see, is it causing more? They think it might be causing the issue, but it's not hardening like it is when they find it. When it's when it cools down from the body dying.
Uh-huh.
22 pounds. Congratulations, man. Listen, you must feel a lot healthier, Brian, because I'll tell you, when you cleanse yourself of all the poisons, the seed oils, the sugars, the flours, you feel amazing. I got to tell you, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I feel fantastic. And it's just great. It's a great feeling. And then you really got to watch it. A friend of mine the other day was talking about Montreal seasoning. And so I went and looked at it because I was at the steak place. I go to this butcher and I looked at the back of it. It's McCormick makes it. Mm-hmm. And there's fucking seed oil in it. So then I had to go look up a Montreal seasoning that doesn't have it. It was Canadian seasoning. Same thing by Badia. But you really got to look because they're sneaking that oil in everything. Everything they sneak that fucking oil in. And you can go look at, Market Basket is a local place here, and they make their own orange soda. Their diet orange soda has brominated oil in it, which I believe in Europe is illegal to sell anywhere. But Sunkist doesn't use it. But if you buy the cheaper made diet sodas, take a look if it's like orange or fruity flavor. Make sure there isn't brominated oil in there. Montreal seasoning is great. It's basically the pickling seasoning, to make pastrami in Eastern Europe. But you can get Badia is a company that makes it, and they just call it Canadian seasoning because it's all the same. But McCormick's uses oil, and it's poison. I'm telling you, anything with that oil is poison. And Matt, what about you? How have you been feeling on this as far as like what I'm talking about, like without all the toxins going into your body?
No, much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, do you feel like lighter and like just
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
everything is much better. Skin feels better. Mood, everything
Yeah.
is just much better. Yeah, don't feel sluggish. And because I used to see that, I remember who was it? Paul Stanley was talking about how
Nightstand man.
he doesn't eat red meat. He's like, oh, if I eat red meat, I feel sluggish, and I just
Of course, because he's a fag.
well,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that?
well, regardless of that fact, I mean, it's
No,
not
because
true.
he's a douche. And anyone that says, the funny thing is when you eat red meat, it's the opposite of feeling sluggish. But the
Oh, I
fact when
know,
you're
but
eating it with Brussels, he loves Brussels sprouts, and that's fucking poison.
how do
That
you
shit's
know he loves
garbage.
Brussels sprouts?
You didn't read his book?
No.
Oh, where he goes, where his kid wanted him to make Brussels sprouts, and he goes, I want Dad's Brussels sprouts. Oh, you have
boy.
no idea what a douche he is till you read his
Yeah,
book.
I read the Ace book and I read
Yeah.
a couple of the band biographies, but I didn't read Paul's.
You know I'll tell you the continuing theme of all the Kiss books. No matter which book by Kiss, which member you read, Paul's always a douche. It's incredible. I don't know how it works.
That's weird.
Just comes across like a dick. In his own book, he was like, me and my buddy make fun of him so much because there's an audio version where he does it. It's just like, he kills me.
I happened to hear on the radio driving the other day. I heard that Ace Frehley song, the New York Groove song. Not a good song, was it?
Written by Russ Ballard.
Yeah, he didn't
originally
write
recorded
it.
by the band Hello.
Yeah. Somebody says read Peter's book, Hanley, best one. I haven't read Peter's, but Ace's was pretty good.
Ace is awesome. Ace, I think, wrote 2, didn't he?
I didn't see the second one, but
I didn't either, but I heard there was a second one.
I saw a quick clip on something today where Ace was being interviewed, and it was a video clip, and he thought he had a Grammy. He thought he had a Grammy at his house on his shelf in his like basement or something like that. And this guy's like, you never won a Grammy. And he's like, what are you talking about? I did do your research, guy. I got a Grammy. What are you talking about? So he actually calls his wife or whoever the girl is at his house and says, can you go downstairs and look at my Grammy and tell me what it says? And she goes down and she's like, well, here's this thing. And it says this. And it turned out it wasn't a Grammy. He'd never had one, but he thought he did. So it was pretty funny.
It was
that is funny.
MTV
Cheech, anyway, so, usually you should buy grass-fed beef. And the reason why it's so healthy is because a cow has 4 stomachs, Cheech, where you only have 1. The first stomach in the cow is to remove the toxins in the plants that it's eating. So the toxins, the phytates, the tannins, the oxalates that are in the food get pulled out of the food and don't go into the cow. So when you eat the cow, you're getting all the vitamins and all the nutrients that's in those plants that when you eat them, you don't get. Because all those things do is block the absorption of the vitamins, of the nutrients, and the nutrients in any other food that you're eating at the same time. So if you're eating a steak with Brussels sprouts, you're not getting the protein that I'd be getting eating that steak by itself. And there's what you get, Cheech, when you ask a decent question. You get the answer. Now you know.
So I wonder, did you read Peter's book?
No, you know what? I wouldn't read a book by somebody who couldn't read the book himself. No, I'm kidding. I like Pete. Look, and I have nothing against Paul Stanley. I just think, like, in the book, he talks about himself, and he seems to take himself way too fucking seriously, and that annoys me. Mm-hmm. It annoyed me when I used to see. You know what it is? They don't have any self-deprecating humor. They take themselves, like when people mock his songs, he sits there and gets all, my song, and he gets all mad about it. Instead of saying, well, it made me money. I'm sorry you don't like it. Who cares? Instead of letting it roll off him, he acts like a fucking bitch. And for that, he's a fucking douche. That's why I don't like Paul. Well, and I also think that I like Gene's voice better. And I like the Gene songs in the early days better.
Yeah. My best friend back in LA, his longtime girlfriend is actually Peter Criss's niece. And she never said anything, bad about him when I was around. But one time my friend told me some stuff she had told him in private. And it was like, her mom was Peter's sister, right? And she, growing up, she said they were poor. She was like, my mom was working at McDonald's to try to support us in this little apartment, and her brother is making millions as the drummer of Kiss and would not help them out.
Right.
It's like,
yeah, I believe it.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Man. It's like, and then you're going to whine about, the blows you've been dealt, but it's like, your fucking sister struggling to support a couple of kids, and you're, Mr. High and Mighty rock star, and can't throw her a few bucks to support her kids.
Yeah. So, Cheech, the thing with chicken is I don't really like chicken because it doesn't really have much. It's good for protein, but it doesn't have enough fat. So if you're going to eat chicken, you want it with a much higher fat. Pork is very high in fat. And so pork is beef and fat. And you get a lot of benefits from beef and fat. In fact, when I eat a steak with a side of bacon, I'm getting extra fat in the bacon, and I'm getting all the vitamins and nutrients from the red meat. But red meat's the best of all of them. Don't let it fool you. In fact, lamb might even be the best. But yeah, so chicken and turkey, I don't really eat. Not my thing. I mean, if somebody had you got to taste this piece of chicken, I'd taste it, but I don't eat chicken. That's not a meal to me.
I do. If you do like baked thighs, man, there's a good amount of fat.
Oh, yeah, if you like it. I don't. To me, it's like that's work. Easy for me to throw a steak in the oven and I'm done. Thighs, I gotta season them. I have no problem digesting pork. I don't know. I don't Cheech. Whatever you read, I'm just telling you right now, 90% of it is fucking garbage. Because you can read that saturated fat is bad for you. You can read that sugar cereals have got the sign from the Heart Association. The Heart Association has their symbol on a box of sugar cereal, Cheech, and you're going to tell me what you've read. Don't read, eat. Your body knows. In fact, there was an interview with Dr. Berg, and he had a woman from Sardinia in Italy, and he asked her, because Sardinia is a blue zone. The people live to be like 100. They never have any disease or anything. And she goes, what is the main food there? Is it fish? And she says, no, it's pork. We raise pigs and we eat pork only. And it's a blue zone. So I cook my steaks just with salt. I cook it with salt in the oven, and then afterwards I put butter on it. You have to go and find it, Cheech. What's his name just told you? Watch Dr. Berry. Martin 33 just told you. Watch Dr. Berry. Watch Dr. Chafee. You can kind of... The first thing I asked you to do was you guys should watch a movie called Fat Fiction. That'll get you started to realize everything you've been taught is a lie. Once you realize that everything you're taught is a lie, you're not really going to be caring too much about when people sit there and say to you, oh, I heard this was hard to digest. Really, I've never had a problem digesting anything. So I don't want... It's a bullshit thing to say. Not mad at you, Cheech, just what you read. Go ahead.
What's funny, Dave, is that there's so many people that have looked at, my changes and asked, what are you doing? And I'll tell them, and I'll say, just watch this film, this Fat Fiction film. My dad, even my best friend here in Florida, I've tried to get these people to watch it, and they're like, oh yeah, they never watch it.
No.
Yeah. It's like, you know what?
They're happy in their ignorance.
I guess so, but they're also like,
but
still looking for that one thing that's going to be kind of like it's just going to work for them, And it's like you're not going to find it because you're not willing to look beyond your own zone of knowledge here. Oh well, I've never heard that kind of bullshit before, so I'm just not even going to give it any attention.
What's it feel like to almost have a heart attack, Cheech? Because that's not something that's hard to digest. That sounds like it's giving you agita or gas.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
indigestion.
It's probably also in your head because you've been told for so many years that bacon can cause a heart attack when it actually does the opposite. So most of the thing would be psychosomatic, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. This is Dr. Dave. You're next on the line. Oh, no, sorry. No, but seriously, it sounds like it's more psychosomatic because I'm eating a half a pound of bacon a day. I don't feel like, in fact, and I run 4 miles every day. I feel fucking fantastic.
No, wait,
I
run
feel
or Killdozer run?
from Killdozer running. I'm running from Killdozer. That's a great point. Well, if your body's rejecting it, like I said, the best thing for you to do, Cheech, is to do what's called an elimination diet of just carnivore, where you eliminate everything except for the meat. And then you will find out what is causing your body to do it. But I'm not there, and I don't know what you're doing, and I don't know what you're eating. But you're putting something in your body that's causing that food to have a reaction to you.
Yeah, Cheech, there is a.
This isn't my first. Yeah,
you're going to go through a change, man. It's not like, oh, as soon as I start eating nothing but fat and meat, then I'm going to be fine. You know, it's like,
in fact, once you cut out all the carbs, your body's going to go through like 2 weeks to a full month of every time you eat, you're going to want to shit your pants because all the enzymes and bacteria in your intestines are fighting, and like you're a drug addict and you want carbs, and then they're eventually going to evacuate out of your body. It's going to give you the shits, and you're going to shit it all out. And seriously, once you feel your body start to back to normalize, that's your body now getting used to dealing with meats and fats, and no longer the heavy bacteria, the bad bacteria that's been in your intestines that wants sugar. But basically, you have to look at it like your body is a physical addiction to carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just in your head. You have a physical addiction.
You won't have pudding pants anymore.
Yeah. I honestly, so my buddy's been on carnivore 2 weeks. Literally every day he calls me up and he's like, dude, I can't believe I had this much in my body. I had to have shat out he's going off on how much. I said, dude, you were addicted to carbs. It's completely going to come out. I said, it might take a month. Mm-hmm. He's like, whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. Because he goes, after he saw me, he was like, there's no way. He goes, I can do it. I said, I know you can. Just get through it. Mm-hmm. But don't play the game of what is it, you know, if you're eating just proteins and high fat, don't play the game of like your stomach's bothering you, something's bothering. Wait it out. That's your body getting used to getting rid of the carbohydrates and the sugar bacteria in your system. And there's 2 great videos you can watch. One is Dr. Berry talking about starting carnivore and what you can expect. And the other one is from Dr. Chafee, learning how to start carnivore. But the main thing is when you do an elimination diet, you'll realize that, yeah, or you could not eat bacon. In fact, just eat beef for like, the 30 days and then go back. So what sides are best with carnivore food-wise? Anything you want to eat? Well, there is no sides. I mean, like whatever you want to eat.
That is a problem because you go to a restaurant, and you order a steak, and they're like, well, you get 2 sides with that. Would you like?
Right. I always say, let me tell you. So here's what I ate today, Cheech. I started cooking bacon, and I put 2 eggs sunny side up with feta cheese, and I inhaled that while I was making the bacon. When the bacon was done in that oil, I cooked mozzarella sticks that I used pork rinds, and those were good. And I fried those up. Then I had 2 burgers, each with provolone and Munster cheese, and made a double stack burger. And that's what I ate. All those 3 things: the bacon, the mozzarella cheese, the 2 burgers,
one meal a day, but it's a 5-course fucking
the 2 eggs. Hold on them. Then I topped it off with a slice of carnivore cheesecake. And then I was like, let me just have a glass of diet orange soda with heavy cream. Then I was done. And I won't eat till 5 o'clock tomorrow. I won't eat ever again.
I can't fucking move.
I did feel like Mr. Creosote for 3 minutes. A wafer thin mint. And then, no, but right after that, I got up. I was like, all right, now I'm going to go smoke a cigar, get ready to do the show. And that's what I did. Five. I won't eat till 5 o'clock tomorrow. And I'm not even hungry when I was eating all this. I just eat it because I know I need to get the calories and I'm trying to, put on a little muscle, get the guns up and whatnot. I did chest today. So I was like, I had a great workout today. It's light week. So I was doing 25 reps of everything. So I want to make sure that I'm getting enough protein in. So I ate all that. But I won't eat till 5 o'clock tomorrow. I fast every day, 24 hours every day, Cheech.
So you eat all that in like 2 seconds?
Under 30 minutes.
I just ate a 5-course meal in 3 seconds.
It's literally under 30 minutes, because what happens is I eat the eggs just because I want to eat the eggs. And then once the bacon's cooked, the mozzarella sticks and the burger was done, with that and the cheesecake, 10 minutes. And I'm not even like less than 10 minutes. I inhale my food. I'm just like, Yeah. That was it. And then I'm like, all right.
I'm kind of that way too.
I don't eat ketchup. Hey, Pam, I don't eat ketchup, so I don't really know. Someone told me, so I put a guy on carnivore. He's down in Rhode Island. He's lost 43 pounds as of last Tuesday. And he found a barbecue sauce alternative that had no sugar, no carbs, no nothing. And I looked at the ingredients and I told him it was fine. It really was. Pork chops, you can eat pork chops all day.
It wasn't tomato based?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because if it's barbecue, it's got to be tomato based. And if it's
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. For what I do for carnivore and because carnivore people like to do spices and I'm always like, look, I would never. And I'm super strict. I mean, I never cheat. Like I wouldn't even, but him, I was like, if this is what's going to make you stay on the diet, then do it. And I think he used it like twice, because then he was like, actually, I think I like it better without now. But that's something that I always try to tell people. If it's something that's going to stop you from doing it because you need a sauce, then if it's a 0 sugar, 0 everything barbecue sauce and has no nutritional value, use a little bit. As long as it's going to. What about soups? No, I don't know any soups that you can have. There's carbohydrates in them, and the whole trick is to not do carbs. Yeah, Hugh, no crocodile. Awesome, Tone Seeker. Yeah, doctors don't know fucking shit. My doctor, it's so funny. I talked to somebody and they were like, well, my doctor said. I'm like, your doctor said? You're listening to your fucking doctor? My doctor, he tells me something. I was like, last year he told me he wanted to increase my thyroid. I'm like, now I'm off everything. I'm like, fuck you. I'm not taking any more of this fucking poison. I'm off everything. But he would tell me, and he was just like, I don't know how you're going to sustain this. And I said, okay, we'll see. Fuck you. How are you going to sustain it? I said to him, well, there's essential amino acids. He goes, yeah. I go, essential fatty acids? He goes, yeah. I go, tell me what's the essential carbohydrate? You've been sold a fucking bad bill of goods, my friend. These doctors are all trained by fucking imbeciles that are training them. And the fucking Heart Association. I went to CVS. They were like, would you like to give money to the Heart Association? I was like, I would fucking never. Mm-hmm. The woman didn't say a word. She just looked at me and I was just grabbed my bag and left. Fuck you for asking me. The Heart Association, those guys are criminals. Mm-hmm. Criminals. Yeah, bone broth is okay. I would not do it. I would not do bone broth because bone broth has carbs and it has just what Matt said. There's seasoning in it, not carbs. It's tomato puree. You know what I mean? It's like it's got stuff in there that I'm like, I'm not eating it.
Well, not if you make it yourself.
Well, you can make it yourself. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to do it. Or you can buy. There's an organic one that actually. I looked up. They said there is one that you can. That if you're carnivore, you could do. But most of them, no. But anyways, I mean. I wouldn't listen to a fucking doctor. I think these people are out of their fucking. Oh, chicken soup's good for the soul, according to the Jews. However, and I'm Jewish, but I don't eat it. Mm-hmm. I don't eat. It's not what I want. Oh, he makes it himself. Good for you, Brian. It's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Martin says it right there. The Heart Association promotes Captain Crunch. Well, I believe it's Cap'n Crunch. Cap'n Crunch. Part of this nutritious breakfast. It's a pretty good Cap'n Crunch. He puts it above fried eggs and butter. In fact, they said, forget about frying eggs and butter. They said a fake egg, whatever that egg substitute cooked in oil is healthier. That egg substitute cooked in oil is going to give you cancer, leukemia, diabetes, fucking heart attack, a stroke, but it's better than having a little bit more cholesterol in your diet.
That's because we have a pill for that, Dave. We're going to sell it.
That's right. Hey, you want to? Yeah, exactly. They hear people saying, you're going to take the blue pill or the red pill. And they're like, no, we got pills for you.
Yeah.
Mankind was raised on meat. That is 100% correct. Yes. In fact, the brain only formed, they figure, because of the proteins from red meat is what caused the human brain to form to make us intellectuals as we are now. So, but yes, we were. Unless Cheech, you think back in the Dark Ages was the time when there was a very low amount of Frosted Flakes. And there was a very dark times when people used to get in line for Frosted Flakes.
I'm on the Frosted Flake line.
Yeah, well, they didn't have any of that stuff. Processed food. So, Cheech, processed food is the problem. Once you realize that you could have your meats, and even if you ate your vegetables, which I think aren't good for you, if you ate your vegetables, as long as you stayed away from processed food, you'd be okay. You wouldn't be suffering. I mean, you would have, you'd probably get joint pains and have allergies. I'll tell you right now, anybody that knows me knows around animals, I am a fucking mess. My eyes will start burning. I have allergies up the ass. Last week, I went to go to Amplified Nation. The guy has 2 dogs. They're all over me, these labs. Black lab and a yellow lab. I'm petting them. They're all over me. Nothing. And I did it on purpose because I wanted to see if it was, because they say your allergies can go away if you stay on this carnivore. Nothing. Yesterday at a barbecue, 3 dogs all over me. Nothing. It's fucking the best. I'm telling you, I feel the best I've ever felt. Okay, Jeffrey, why don't you get the fuck lost, you douche? And you're gone.
Jesus, what a douche.
Yeah. You don't know anything about anthropology. Oh, really? You do. Hey, Lonesome Lenny, how are you, sir? I would suggest Cheech, you should watch these guys instead of asking me, because you should just watch this. I mean, take the time instead of watching somebody show a fucking guitar, a boring guitar. Yeah. I don't do sausages either. I mean, guys, I just eat meat. I don't know what else to tell you. I eat eggs. I eat meat. That's all.
It's not a hard menu to follow.
Right. And the fucking genius that just left, he'll go and tell you, oh, you don't know anything about food. Right. But so type 2 diabetes, all this stuff that didn't exist back in those days, he's going to tell you something different. All I have to say, folks, is the ones who are doing it that you're having success with, keep doing it. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it. I don't care. And if you want to sit there and have me talk about fucking music instead of fucking food, fucking pay me. Fuck, I do this for fucking free. You can watch this as entertainment. You can either watch me or fuck off. I don't care. I could care less. If this thing had 10 people watching it, I could give 2 fucks. And I also could give 2 fucks if anyone ever even came into this show, because mostly people watch my lessons. But I'm here. But somebody, don't come into my fucking room and sit there and tell me to talk music unless you fucking tip me $100 and then say, and then I'll talk about what you want to talk about. Yeah, but I don't fucking work for anybody here.
You could throw a super chat
Yeah, but this guy's just a fucking douche trying to flex his balls. You don't know anything about anthropology. Oh, okay. But you do, dickhead.
Super
That's
chat.
why you want to. You're so intelligent. You want to sit and talk about guitars over and over again for 400 fucking the 400th time. We'll beat that fucking dead horse. Oh yeah, what tone wood do you like, douche? You don't know anything about guitars. Yeah.
Best performance out of a cheap guitar. Well, it just has to be set up right.
Yeah, I mean, you can set anything up to play. I mean, within reason. Within reason.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe the Squires are fine.
Yeah, if they're set up right. I mean, all you have to do is, check.
Thank you, Pam.
Super chat.
Just check your neck relief and your frets and see if they're level and if they need crowned or not. And then if your intonation's right and your nut height is right, then you should be good to go.
I want to congratulate Tone Seeker also, man. Doing it. You're fucking doing it, man. That's all it, look, most of the people out there that, like when Matt was talking about, I have to go backwards. People don't want to listen. And the other thing is like everyone will say to me, how do you sustain it? How do I sustain it? It's called fucking discipline, you jackass. It's called discipline and changing the way you live your life. How do you do it? How do you not walk by Pop-Tarts and want to eat them? I do want to eat them, but I don't want to eat them because I know they're rat poison, so I don't eat them. But it's like the dumbest thing. It's like, how do you sustain it? How do you do it? It takes discipline. Tone Seeker knows it. Martin knows it. Hugh Caldwell's learning it. It's discipline. You got to just
guys. I'll see you next week.
All right. Later, Dane.
Okay. It's been a long weekend.
I hear you.
See you guys.
See ya.
Hold on. There we go. Kielbasa, it depends. You have to look at the ingredients, Cheech. Everyone makes everything different. Oh, Lonesome Lenny lost 30 pounds. Excellent, Lenny. Excellent. Excellent. People wore ripped at the 19. Yeah, no, totally, Elroy. But Elroy, please don't school me on anthropology.
What is this thing why is Pamela in green with $4.99?
She tipped. She gave us money.
Oh,
she put money in.
I've never seen that before.
Oh yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Is if you watch other channels, people want to talk about something, they ask a question, they put it with money. Here, I got some fucking dickhead, some fucking guy. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Food, talk guitars. Oh, really? How about you fucking banned from my channel? You can go fuck yourself. How do you like that? Because I could give a shit.
All right. Well, thank you, Pamela, for giving Dave.
You know what I mean? It's like these people think like I need them. I don't. This isn't fucking making my living here, folks. This is a fun thing that I do, and I do it for the people that watch my channel, and it's just the way it is. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You want to? You should talk guitars. Go to Johnny Bean's channel. He's talking guitars every 5 fucking minutes ad nauseum. I don't care. He's a good guy. Go listen to him. Biggest thing for me is my back pain almost disappeared. Your emails to me started my life change. Hey, you got it, Hugh, man. Anytime somebody has a question and wants to do it, that's the main thing. I don't know if I had that attitude with you, but I'm always very hesitant to help people unless I know they're serious. And you kind of said something and then you emailed me, so I kind of was like, oh, Hugh's serious this time. Well, at this particular whatever. Yeah, exactly, wheat. But anyways, whatever. I'm just saying, listen, you can fucking believe what you want to believe, but they're feeding you fucking poison. Sugar, all the seed oils, it's all garbage. It really is. And you can lose weight. I mean, there's no reason why, people always say to me, like, I don't want to have to go to the gym and work out. I don't care what you fucking want to do. I'm not telling you to go to the gym. You're going to, this lifestyle, you'll lose weight because you stop eating the shit that's fucking making your body run toxic. That's the bottom line. Yeah, well, most people are sugar addicts. That's the problem. Excellent, Johnny Kramer. Lemon water is good. Yeah. Listen, I mean, it's your choice how you want to live. You want to eat, you can eat what you want. I'm just saying if you had questions and you want to know. But if you think that they're being honest with you by you're watching TV and they're pushing all their fucking garbage, and I'm telling you, I can get anybody here off of type 2 diabetes. I got off all my own medications myself. Yeah, totally. Thank you, man. Walking every day is excellent. Eliminating sugar is the first thing. Seed oils are more important, Speed. Really are, because they're so toxic to your body. Any of the oils like cottonseed oil, sunflower oil, all those oil. You can't really have sides, Cheech. A couple of eggs. Have a couple of eggs. A couple of slices of cheese. You could have some cucumbers with feta cheese if you want. Cucumbers are a fruit. That's carnivore 2.0 if you want. Very low toxicity to cucumbers. You could have cucumbers and feta cheese. You could have an avocados also, although it has a little bit it's a little harder on the gut, even though it's considered a fruit. Pork rinds. I love my pork rinds. No vegetable oils. Yeah, you'll have withdrawals for sure. Yeah, I don't need less in here either. This fucking guy's a douche. Just another one. Fucking wrote comments on my thing and then deletes them, but he's a fucking dick. Get rid of him too.
Less Nagy.
Yeah.
You're not less
Looks
Nagy.
like a fucking corky. Anyways, eggs
more
and
Nagy.
What's that?
I said he's more Nagy.
Yeah.
Pepperoni omelet.
No dressings. That's all oils.
Oh wait, Martin 33 pepperoni is no good.
You can
That's not entirely true. If you go, I get them at a place. I'm in Florida, and there's a place called Publix. I get them, but there's a company called Applegate, and they have a pepperoni that's made from beef and pork, and it has got 0 carbs, and it is like 20 or 25% saturated fat, and they're great. They're not even refrigerated, at the store. They're just hanging on the hook. But yeah, if you do like pepperoni, you can get them without any
right. They're not
without any crap.
They're uncured.
Yeah, but they're also no carbs, because I looked at some of the other pepperoni and it had like 1 or 2 grams of carbs in it. So, but this one doesn't.
So, Cheech, some will say you can use olive oil. Turkey or chicken sticks? What's a chicken stick? I don't even know what a chicken stick is. What's a turkey stick? But anyways,
who does Pam want to block now? She said, I will pay for another block.
Oh, no, because I blocked him. I just don't want people in my... Look, if I don't talk, I know people who are friends of mine and who aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Does he mean jerky? That depends too. But you can use a little olive oil. I don't. Oh, no. I mean, there are natural ones, and there's actually a carnivore bar that's just salt and meat. Oh, yeah, it's called carnivore bar. Chafee pushes it all the time. Well, not pushes it, but he's like, I don't really like to do them. But if I have to, I'm in a bind. This is what I would do.
I've never seen them.
Yeah. I think you have to special order them.
No.
Yeah.
I was going to say they're not in the bar aisle at the supermarket. And even those are a scam. All the sports bars, it's all got chocolate and sugar. And
I get a kick out of this. So there's a woman that's on my Facebook, and she's always posting these products. And I'm like, actually, there's 2 or 3. And every time I see them, I'm like, this is poison. This is poison. It's all sugar and it's processed food.
Mm-hmm.
It's all crap. And then somebody posted protein powders, and I'm like, I wouldn't do those either. You don't absorb shit from them, and it's all processed. Just eat a meal.
Yeah.
But you can't talk to people because they're like, well, what if I'm hungry and are you ever that hungry that you need a fucking, to me, if I'm that hungry and I need like food right away, instead of making a shake, I'll just eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
I can make eggs in 2 minutes. Yeah, but I don't eat that Cheech anymore. You can, but certain processed, you have to see what the ingredients are. Most of the time, if it's just the meat itself with salt, then you're fine. But if it's processed where it has like oils and stuff in it, because you have to really watch it. That's why it's really, when you look for processed foods,
Well, there's sugar in those deli meats too, because it's just like the beef jerky. You can't find, this guy just commented, it's true. It's like trying to find a stick of beef jerky without any sugar in it is near impossible.
Right. But turkey, but like meat, if you buy like chicken breast, that's no sugar added, that's, at a deli to sliced, usually those are fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in a pinch, but I wouldn't live on it. I wouldn't eat it a lot, and I don't eat it a lot. Roast beef slices from the butcher, that's just beef. I don't know that's not processed. I mean, when you see it, it's like the slab of beef. It's aged and they season it. I don't think it's processed.
Well, technically, it depends on your term, what you term processing, because any, just slaughtering something is processing it.
Well, it is. Yeah. Years ago, on the way home from a gig, I ate a microwave gas station burrito at 3 a.m. Uh-oh.
I haven't stopped shitting since.
Right. I stay away from everything but salt. You can use black pepper on carnivore, but I stay away from everything but salt. But again, this is what I do, and I'm not telling everybody this is what you have to do. I'm just telling you what I do, and I just use salt. And I use it very, very liberally. I use a lot of it.
And don't shop for your dinner at a gas station.
Moo glue. I don't know what moo glue is. Yes, the deli meat would be processed. Yes, but not like, it depends on you just have to look at the ingredients, Cheech. You have to look to see if there's anything in that food that you can't eat. You know what I mean? There is no blanket. You can eat that. You cannot eat that. Can you eat roast beef? Maybe. Look at the ingredients. If it says meat and salt, you're all set. If it says garlic and onion, maybe. But if it starts listing even more, I'd say stay the hell away from it. I don't eat deli meat anymore. I'm eating one meal a day. And honestly, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time.
Those burrito stories never end.
No. I don't do Morton's. I do. I just used sea salt, and I make sure that the only ingredient is sea salt. Mm-hmm. Morton's is sea salt, and they also use a non-caking agent, so I don't use Morton's.
Yeah, Himalayan salt, like Hugh says, is good. But
yeah, Himalayan's fine.
And but yeah, you got to watch. And there's the thing, they put iodine in there too, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for.
Yeah, exactly, Howard. Howard, how much weight have you lost, sir? Yeah, Speed's right. I don't know. What's on my plate daily? Didn't I go over my food?
You did. Your 5-course fucking meal.
Yeah. So on days I eat steak. I eat steak instead of the 2 burgers.
Or he has a burger between 2 steaks.
Then there are some days when I just do eggs. And I'll do 3 eggs with salmon, cream cheese, and then I roll fresh luck salmon in cream
How is that
cheese.
just eggs, Dave? I have just eggs with salmon. And
oh, wait. Oh, no. I'm just saying, but no beef. Then I have bacon. And then I have mozzarella cheese, the fresh buffalo mozzarella with salt on it. Oh, it's so good. 17 pounds is awesome. Oh, yes. 5 hours, Squire. I love pulled meat. My meat bill's not bad because I'm only eating one meal a day, Johnny. That's what people don't understand. I'm not eating this 5 times a day. I'm not even eating it 3 times. I'm eating it once. Once a day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love those burgers. Costco is great for a lot of stuff. The eggs are great at Costco. The bacon is great there. The salmon. You can look. The great thing about if you get like the smoked salmon, they have the wild, which will say right in the fucking thing that it's dyed. It's colored orange. And then you get the fresh salmon, the wild salmon, and that's orange because it's in nature. And that's because the color of salmon.
Well, doesn't salmon have not enough fat for you, Dave? Because if you're not eating chicken for not enough fat, then why?
Oh, I'm eating eggs with this. I'm eating eggs with salmon and bacon.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
So you're not just doing salmon.
No. I'm doing a 5-course meal with every meal. I'm fucking feeding so. Yeah, I do OMAD. Excellent, Lenny. Excellent. No bread, wheat. No bread. They didn't have bread in medieval times. We don't serve bread. No, you ever see Cable Guy?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have a fork and knife? They didn't have forks and knives in medieval times, so we don't have forks and knives at medieval times. Mm-hmm. But you have Pepsi?
Exactly. Dude, I'm just trying to do my job.
I'm just doing my job. Oh, it's fucking great. Yes. I mean, one of the how are we going to beat the yeah, I believe so. I mean, at 74, I feel better than I was. That's awesome. And Lenny, that's awesome. Yes, Costco has great lamb, and I make the lamb chops and cut the chops in. And Howard Brown, I'm glad to help. I'm glad to help. I'm glad that it's working out for you. I use so all the bacon grease I strain and put through a coffee filter, and I use bacon grease, or I use beef tallow, or I use butter, or I use clarified butter, ghee. But I only cook in those 4 things. And some people are like, can I cook in coconut oil? You can. I think the others are better, but because they have vitamins in them, where coconut oil doesn't have much, but you can cook in coconut oil also. Yeah, congrats to Lenny, Tone Seeker, Howard Brown, Martin 33, all the people who have decided, Brian, all the people who've decided to take it a go and do something, and it takes discipline. I trust me, I know. It takes discipline, but the weight fell off me. I'm wearing a 31 pair of jeans, 31 30s, and I feel like a young kid. What can I say? Oh, Tone Seeker, it's so good, the lamb there. I'm going to pick it up on Thursday when I go to Costco. I'm going to pick up some more lamb, and I have salmon. There was something. Oh, I needed eggs. Yeah, I mean, I cook only on low heat. I cook the bacon at like low to medium. I don't really cook high heat, but yeah, the best is to use bacon fat. That's what I like. That's what I use. But thanks, Squire. Thank you. I appreciate it because I was fat. Yeah, Hugh, you have a farm near you? That's awesome. There's a place here, a town over. It's a butcher place. Man, I love that place. I go in there, I'm like all happy. And I had to say, I'm like, I got to reevaluate my life if I'm around all these cow carcasses and I'm happy. Mm-hmm. No, it's great. It's great. Like I said, you can get in great shape. I mean, like, I can't even tell you. I'm so like, I feel so lean, like where I'm like looking at myself going, like the other day, like I said, I thought I had veins coming up my stomach. I'm like, oh, I'm getting there. There. It's hey, Rich. Yeah, so I like bacon in a pan because I like the bacon to really cook in its own fat to get that crispy. I know some people do it, but I can taste the difference of it when it's cooked in an oven. When you go to restaurants, you can always tell it's oven because it comes out and it's so long and like softy kind of. I can tell that it's not getting a lot of its own fat. It's either on a screen or something. I like it when it's in its own fat.
Same here.
Thank you, Pam. Yeah, I feel it. Like I said, I feel young. I feel fantastic. And Matt's older than me, and he looks younger than me.
Thank you.
Look like a young kid over there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like cooking the bacon until it's like crispy in its own fat. I don't like that droopy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, that's what happens when you cook it in the oven. See, there's two ways you can cook it in the oven. You can cook it in the oven on a metal pan, and then all the fat will cook in the bacon will cook very similar to in the pan. But then it's tricky to get it out of the oven because you got all this bacon grease. Then there's the kind that they cook it when you go to restaurants. They cook it like on a grid.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like? And the pan has the drippings underneath, and so then that doesn't really. And that's when you get the soggy bacon at a restaurant,
Right?
which I got the other day. Yeah, no, I totally get you, Wheat. I totally get you. Pam's asking if you're carnivore.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Absolutely.
Music taste, you just start with the basic chords. I always get them learning a few songs first. Once you get somebody playing a song, then they get it's like it's very much like putting somebody on a diet. When they lose 10 pounds, they come back to you and they're like, all right, what else do I got to do? Because then they're in. You've sold them. When you teach somebody a few songs with 3 chords on a guitar, then they're like, oh, we're in. What else do we got to do? So that's the best way I like to teach, is just to get them playing songs. I like thick cut bass. Yeah, I do thick and thin. I make both at the same time. Pam's asking how old you are. You don't like to say, huh?
I don't. Yeah. I just turned 58.
Started me off, no.
And thank you.
No. No, we went back and forth talking about it. But we kind of were like looking at it at the same time, like talking about, but I was on my diet thing, doing my own thing for a while. And I actually found, we kind of stumbled into it at the same time, and could be trickier on your site, Dave, just saying. What could be trickier? On my site. Matt looks like Roger Daltrey. No. No. Not like Dorian Yates looks like Roger Daltrey.
Yeah.
Nope, no sugars of any kind. Natural, synthetic, whatever it is, sugar is sugar. Your body doesn't care. Your body isn't going, oh, this is healthy sugar.
Mm-hmm.
No. You're trying to stop your body from secreting insulin. You can get back into doing raw honey if you want, if you're into that belief, which I'm not, but some carnivore guys are, and they're into fruits. But for me, I always tell people get off all the sugar first, because you gotta get that. You gotta stop your insulin.
Thank you, Pam.
Oh yeah, I don't care. I mean, if you're that desperate to watch my channel and you're changing your name, I think you're pathetic. So I don't care.
It's funny.
What kind of troll are you like? This guy doesn't want me watching his channel and he hates my guts and I hate him. But I'm gonna change my name and go on his channel because I got nothing to do with my fucking life.
No, it's like
I sit at my computer with a glass of fucking whiskey and just sit there and troll people. If that's what they gotta do, what are you gonna do?
I mean, the fact that you would want to get back on someone's show that has kicked you off is it's pretty pathetic.
It's absurd. Get the fuck lost.
That's awesome. Who's Dorian Smith?
He was a guy that used to follow me. I don't know where he's been. Do you take in any sugar at all? I take in 0 sugar.
Same here.
0. Zip. No sugar, no carbs. No sugar, no carbs.
True enough.
And for those wondering, I'm not on the gas.
Yet.
Yet is correct. I do listen to songs like Sugar Sugar RL. They didn't have those types of... I was trying to do the Phil Hendry bit, but I think it's the other way around. And I listen to Sugar Kiss, Lips Like Sugar RL I listen to. And Sugar Hiccups by the Cocteau Twins. No soups. No soup for you, Cheech. 2 weeks. Yes, the carb withdrawals you're going to have to get through. Listen, if you're eating sugar, you're like a junkie. It's not just in your head, your body, your brain, everything wants sugar. And the other trick is, and Cheech, I'm going to just explain this to you. You have to eat a lot of fat. When you eat fat, you don't get hungry. Matt, are you ever hungry?
No, sometimes I go all day and I was like, wow, I didn't eat anything today, but it's not a big deal because
no, I'm never hungry.
No. I mean, once in a while, yeah, but it's not like oh God, I'm gonna die if I don't get something to eat,
Rick Grimes. No, I don't think he was offended.
No, I wasn't offended by that. No, I didn't. I didn't think he meant I looked like him now, like the way he looks this day.
Ooh, gonna put it in the want ads. What was that girl's name? I forget who did want ads. I'm sweet enough. Look at Hugh Caldwell, RL. Hugh Caldwell's fucking putting out brick tops lines. You don't want to take any omega-3, 6, 9. The problem is your body is overwhelmed right now with omega-6. That's what the problem is with 90% of the people. And omega-3, you get it from meats and everything else, and you get omega-6 with it in a 2-to-1 ratio. Seed oils, you can get it in a much higher ratio, which is why they're really fucking poison. Plus, they're all chemicals. Oh, you're walking? Of course you love Bricktop. Do you know what the word nemesis means, RL? Have you seen that movie?
What's that?
Snatch.
Oh yeah.
With Bricktop. Do you know what the word nemesis means? And he's sitting there drinking his tea. Yeah, I didn't see the video, but yeah, I mean, there's so much shit about vitamin D. I'll do you proud, Governor. No, well, you shouldn't heat. Well, oils itself, you shouldn't heat. You shouldn't eat them. And olive oil you could eat, and avocado oil you can eat, but you shouldn't heat them. You shouldn't cook with them. Yes, I do listen to brown sugar. Any songs with sugar, I just can't eat it. I just don't ingest sugar. And, look, you're talking to someone, my brother's in the chat. My brother will tell you that I am a fat guy through and through. I love sweets. Although I can sit there and open a bag of crispy M&Ms and keep them for a few days, he'll annihilate them in one sitting. But you shouldn't cook with it, RL. Did you see the video I sent you, RL? That was a very important video I wanted you to see. But anyways, I can eat all the sugar in the world. I love sugar. Orange cupcakes from Hostess. Those things were They were my kryptonite. But I sent it, I think, to your Instagram. No, I sent it to your WhatsApp, RL. Watch it. It's very important. All about statins. I wanted you to see it. But anyways, I like snacks like everyone. The point is once you realize that what they're feeding you and what they're serving is poison, I can't like it anymore. I mean, just imagine. Oh, crispy M&Ms was M&Ms they had the crispy crunch like Rice Krispies in them. They still make them. They used to be in a blue package. Now they're in a green. Yes, the gas station cupcakes, the best. Way to out all my social media. How's that? Oh, yeah, they can't have access to it, you shithead. Anyways, listen.
Yeah, what are crispy M&Ms, by the way?
They're like crispy, like Rice Krispies inside of M&Ms with chocolate. And they're on the market. They took them away for a while. And there's Emily. What's happening, Emily? And then they brought them back. But the point is once you realize this shit is poison, as much as I want to eat it, what if I'd said to everybody in the chat, listen, there's this great new Hostess cupcake. It's the best tasting thing, but they use 30 milligrams of rat poison in it. Mm-hmm. Would you eat it? That's the question I want you to ask yourselves. If there was 30 milligrams or 30 grams of rat poison in this cupcake from Hostess, would you eat it? And I got to tell you, what's in there is not much worse. In fact, I think it is worse. No nuts. No nuts. RL says yes to the rat poison. Well, boy, do I have a cupcake for you then, RL. I don't know anything about those Stratacoustics. They were too much money, and I didn't understand. 0 point. Oh, wait, you messaged me? No, someone's messaging. Okay. Opioid version of a cup. Yeah, but you see my point. If you know that there's poison in it, and that it would take time out of your life, years out of your life, would you eat it? And there's my answer to why I could care less about eating sweets anymore. Because it's going to take excellent. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take time out of your life. You know, people are getting sick from these fucking things. I give them candy. I could care less. I'm not anyone else's parent. People have their own, I understand the traditions of everything and look, but that's poison. And for kids, like candy, sugar, that stuff, I still see it's okay for kids. But the problem with kids is you really got to feed them real food, eggs for breakfast. You know what's worse than candy for kids is Doritos. You look at the ingredients of Doritos, it's like 4 poisons in the front. The first 4 things is like hydrogenated poison, this poison, corn, this, corn. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I wouldn't eat that if you put a gun on my head. It's taking away Snowball. I mean, look, you guys can eat. Look, I'd say this to anybody. You can eat all the crap you want. Then eventually they're going to put you on those pills they're showing you on the commercials. And you're going to have a hard life. I had a friend of mine. He was in the hospital all week because he was having some prostate issues and some kidney issues because of his type 2 diabetes. And I've tried to help him get him on carnivore, but the guy has 0 willpower. He just doesn't care. And what am I going to do? I mean, I could have got him off his fucking the time that I've been doing carnivore. If he had done it with me when I asked him to, he would have been. He probably would have been off all his diabetic medicine. That's about 4 months. But instead, he's eating the same shit, and now he's got to possibly go into dialysis. He's got to have a surgery, and what the fuck, Nothing I can do. I can't. It's like. Just like when you work, if somebody asks me questions about working out or anything like that, I can't do it for you. So I can't want it for you. Beer is the worst thing in the world for your cheech. If you haven't figured that out, that's all wheat. Anything based in a grain is terrible. If you're going to drink, have yourself a bourbon.
Or tequila.
Or tequila. Any of the hard liquors are basically pure sugar alcohol. I don't recommend it, but if that's what you need to live your life, because I'm not you and you're not me, I don't need it. But if you need it, that's what you can do.
Actually, tequila is 0 carbs.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. It's just sugar alcohol, which is no carb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll tell you, when you're running off of fat and stuff, your brain just feels so much more. I mean, you have way more energy. So, you know, what can I say? Life is good. I feel great. It's going to be a great summer. People are going to come in my chat say, you don't talk about anthropology. I can't believe that, dickhead.
This whole show has pretty much been about carnivore. It's not been anything.
It's just me and you. I mean, you know, and it's all right because all these guys that do it. Look, there's 40 people watching, so 40 people have nothing better to do.
What an endorsement for your own show.
Look, I'm just saying, is this the most entertaining thing? It can be if you enjoy the conversation. I like this type of talk, but it doesn't mean everybody else does. But when people come over to my channel and they see that I do guitar lessons, they expect, I got to tell them everything about gear and talk about gear. It's the summer of Dave, Brian. Thank you for that. My favorite, Brian, is when he says he mourned all summer. Anyone can mourn 3 months over the winter. I did the summer. When Susan died from licking the envelopes. It's fucking great. Those are fine to play. That's like the cheap Chinese ones remind me of the Kramer Farringtons. No, but I'm Sandman, but I have a guy that's asking me for he's going to start booking down in Rhode Island, and I might have a couple of things to hit on the calendar, but I don't know yet, so I don't want to say anything until I get those ducks in a row. Cool, Rich. Well, Rich, I mean, you saw me when I was fat, you know? We do have a gig in July, the same July gig we have. That is correct. You know, when I think of that, it's far. So let me think what the date is. I think it's the 22nd. Let me just look at my calendar. Yep, 22nd. I gotta get rid of this on there, though. I still have my okay. Yeah, 22nd of July. All righty. I'm out of meat. Got to go to the meat store. Is that what they call them? Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a great fucking butcher shop up the street from me. I mean, not that close. I mean, 15 minutes away, but it's great. And they barely speak English. This one guy says to me, "Why you don't even have to get in line? You can just get the Bubba burgers." I'm like, "No, your burgers are better." And he goes, "But you got to wait in line." I'm like, "I want to get that ribeye too." And he goes, "Oh, then you're definitely waiting in line." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right." Well, for me, that was me fat. That was the fattest I've been. And so that was me heavy. So you're not really helping my book sales, Rich. I need you to say I was obese. No, I'm kidding. My book's coming out next month. Corned beef. I love corned beef. Hard to say no to corned beef. Although I think corned beef is just it's just seasoning. It just depends on it. If you like some carnivores turn their heads to seasoning. I don't know. I wouldn't turn it away for if someone said one meal, I'll be like, I'll eat corned beef. I won't eat the bread, although I do love a twice baked rye. You mean on the channel or at shows? We haven't booked anything. I've had my Fridays, and Saturdays were kind of booked, and now Fridays are free up, and I have some places that are interested, and so I just haven't booked anything yet, but I will be. I do like buffalo meat. I think I'd rather have beef. I think beef is better. It's not as lean. Buffalo's leaner. And I prefer not lean. I want it as fatty as I can get it. No rye. No rye. Yeah. I
Nice marble rye.
don't know, Pam. I'm not out that way that often.
Out what way?
Schnitzel's marble rye. Get your you old bag. I love when Jerry Caesar down at the place before whatever the place was called before Del Boca Vista. I forget. Oh, that's awesome, Hugh. So you fit back into your old clothes. Good for you. What if you make a lot of bread? Is that bad? Yeah, you can't make any bread. I love listening to you because you're fucking real. Hey, thanks, Rick Grimes.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
2 new high-end meat stores here in LA. Carnivore is happening. Excellent. That's excellent. Elroy, did you ever go to the fish place? I think it's called Santa Monica Seafood on 11th, maybe, in Wilshire. You been there, Matt?
Well, I lived at like just a few blocks from Wilshire for most of the time I lived in LA. So
yeah, I love that seafood place there.
Don't remember.
They have like a market and you can a couple of tables in the front. Really good food. They have a great bouillabaisse. What's the percentage of no good to good you can buy in the grocery store? I think the old saying was you can only eat around the edges.
Pretty much.
Right? You got eggs and cheese, you got beef, and then you get the fruits and vegetables. And everything else is garbage. And I don't eat the fruits and vegetables. So for me, it's probably about 2% of the supermarket.
Well, now you do have to go to the chip aisle to get the pork rinds, though.
Oh, and I love pork rinds. Wait, no, you know where I get the pork rinds now? I get them at Walmart. I like this brand called Max, M-A-C-S. And they come in like the big tub so I can unscrew them.
No, I've never seen
We don't get kangaroo meat now, Martin. They redid Santa. Oh, much bigger to eat there now. Oh, really, RL? I know RF loves it there, but I love it there. I think it's good. Good seafood. I got an idea for a restaurant, RL. It's grilled seafood. Me and RL worked at a restaurant when we were in our early 20s. And a dude working there says to us, listen, I'm working on starting my own restaurant. We're like, oh, really? He goes, yeah. I'm like, what is it? He goes, well, it's grilled seafood. We're like, well, oh, like what we do here? like that's some fucking huge, you know what I mean? Like it was like trying to keep it quiet. It was such a big idea. I'm like, it's grilled seafood. Let's get some investors. That was it. That was the same conversation. That was fucking gold. You can eat haddock. You can eat haddock and butter and fish. Oh, that's good. Yeah, no fruits and vegetables. The vegetables, so Rich, if you go on YouTube, look up a video called Plants Are Trying to Kill You. And it's a doctor giving a speech about vegetables. Not fruits, but vegetables. Fruits is on the other side of the spectrum. It's sugar. And the point of it is to, and the grand design is to put weight on you for the winter. And now we ship it all over the place. But basically, it causes an insulin reaction to store fat. So stay away from it. Yeah, that was exactly it. Good memory, RL. I got to call my investors. Do you have any change so I can make a call? That was an actual conversation. The guy says he's going to call his investors. Do you have any change so I can make the call? Let's use a payphone at work. Gold. I don't know why Matt's not laughing. It's fucking gold. That's correct. Veggies do not want to be eaten. No, I like aspartame. The aspartame to stay away from is when it's packaged as equal, because then it has dextrose and maltodextrin. But if you're going to have something sweet and you want to make, like I make a carnivore cheesecake, I order on Amazon pure aspartame, and I love it. Some people don't. It's up to you.
I got to try these meatballs that Emily just posted about on the.
Oh yeah, they look good.
Page. Yeah, with the cheese in them.
Diet Coke is fine. As long as you're not drinking it every meal. Just drink it occasionally. It's fine. I mean, it's got a little salt, and the salt is fine. It's got a little aspartame, but that aspartame in there is pure aspartame, so that's fine. Emily has no problem putting down the Diet Cokes. All you have to do is come out to a gig where she's playing. I think she brings like 3 ginormous bottles.
Of what? Diet Coke? Jeez. You can clean your car battery at the same time.
Remember they used to say all that stuff? And then you always see it like...
You can clean your toilet. Just pour a bottle of Coke in there.
Well, it's because it's carbonated with phosphorus.
Yeah.
It's going to fucking clean anything. Just imagine what it's doing to your gut. Probably good stuff. Cleaning out the walls.
Yeah.
Get the shaman. Oh, you only have 1 a day now. All right. Well, I'm just saying, I don't think you drink it as much as you do when you do a gig. I'm just saying when you do a gig, I know you have a few. Thank you very much. Hey, listen, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us. It's getting to that time.
Yep.
Matt, thanks for hanging with me when I was on my ripping rage.
All right. Yeah, no problem.
Dane couldn't handle it. He had to leave.
I know.
He was too tired. I could see he was exhausted, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that it was just the two of us, and I were like missing 5 guys.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we... What lesson did I put out today? And make sure you guys all watch that lesson. It's not tracking so well today. And then next week, I have another song already done. Stony Time? What's Stony Time?
Maybe you meant story time. I don't know.
Stogie. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to go walk down there because I got to turn the lights off, and I'm going to see what the temperature in the garage is. If it's not bad, I'll smoke. If it's cold, I'm not going to deal with it. I might just want to cry. Today's been a long fucking day. I smoked too earlier, but I had a great workout today, so I'm beat. That's right. Don't eat vegetables. Eat vegans. All right. Hey, thanks, everyone, for hanging out with us. We will see you next Monday. I have another lesson coming out next Monday morning. If Jan is still here, Jan, I've been working on that Doobie Brothers song, You Belong to Me. I think I have the best way the chords are going to sound, but I'm not 100% sold on it yet. But there's some real interesting chords there. And, on the keyboard, I want to make the guitar have that same quality sound to it. So, anyways, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us. It's Tuesday there, Martin. All right, everyone have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
And very good.
Very good.
Goodbye.